How do I know that I am making progress on my spiritual path? That's a fair question and a good question. There are a couple of indicators. Number one, your health will be improving. Your emotional and mental bodies will come more and more into calmness, equanimity, balance, homeostasis. You'll have fewer spikes and fewer troughs in your emotional and mental body. And when you have them, the spikes won't be as high, the troughs won't be as deep. You'll start to see that plateauing out as you're moving toward that consciousness of bliss that masters often speak of. So you'll see those peaks and troughs get smaller and longer, in the space between them will get longer and longer. You will notice more harmony coming into your life in terms of your employment. I already said your health, especially your relationships. You'll see relationships start to improve. You'll find that your accountability is going up, your victim consciousness is going down. You're taking more ownership of your role in your life and on the planet and in the universe as a co-creator, rather than as a victim blaming and pointing and judging and complaining. You now start to become more and more proactive in realizing, I create every moment, I create every circumstance in my life, and everything that's happening to me, everything being spoken to me, at me, around me, or even in my vicinity, I chose, wanted, needed, chose, and created solely for the purpose of my God realization. And therefore, I'm going to glean from it and learn from it. The more you keep applying that simple principle, which is the consummate principle for liberation of the soul, the more you apply that, the more growth you will see. One of the other keystone indicators of one's spiritual growth is when you start to amass a certain amount of transformation, of growth, like from where you started to a certain point in time. When you have amassed a certain quotient of spiritual growth, what you'll start seeing happening is myriad blessings will start appearing in the lives, first and foremost, of the people closest to you. Lovers, spouses, best friends, brothers, sisters, parents, relatives. Blessings will start showering them, and you will swear up and down that you had nothing to do with it, you never said or did anything, but you'll notice the people, the lives of the people closest to you are all starting to become blessed and improve. And those same conditions I just described moments ago start happening to them. More happiness, calm, balance, wins, less losses, less suffering. The suffering, pain and suffering goes down, the wins and windfalls go up, more peace and happiness, and you just watch it happening around you. That is the single most powerful proof that you are having spiritual growth. One is that is undeniable and cannot be taken away. And it feels in every cell of your being completely effortless. Their blessings do. Not necessarily yours, but because you've gone through a lot to attain that. But the blessings befalling them, you just sit there in awe and say, oh my God, oh my God. And I get stories like this all day long, 7 days a week. Every single day, at least 2 or 3 people tell me about some blessing that has befallen one of these people in these categories of the closest soulmates. And it's because of that. It's because of the dedication and the devotion and the spiritual discipline of that individual, that Chela, student, devotee, disciple, in working with me and on focusing on themselves, their own self-purification. What happens is, as you do that, you keep invoking the divine grace of God and of the Master's God consciousness into you, and your chalice is getting filled and filled and filled, and the dross, the clear water, is going in and the dirty water is coming out. Your consciousness is purifying, your chalice is filling with all this divinity, and eventually your cup runneth over. And where does it spill? It spills into the lives of those closest to you. That is the amazing self-replicating nature of true, divine, unconditional love. That's fascinating. It's so alchemical. And it is effortless. That effortlessness is called the descent of grace. And when you see the descent of grace spilling into the lives of those around you, that is the most ironclad testimonial and foolproof evidence of your spiritual growth.